Hello, this is Michael at my Crooked Road Homestead. Hope everyone's getting along all right today. Well, here's my elderberries. I want you to see how big they've gotten. This one's just going crazy over here. This one's not growing as fast. It's not growing as fast as this one over here, but they're really doing good. These down here on the ground, the tops that I cut off, they're really starting to grow up good too, so I'm real happy with them. But I want you to look at the sky and see how gray it is and looking. I mean, we got a good rain this morning. So spring's here. Summer's right around the corner. My mower, I had a front tire that went down on it, so I took it off and took it over to my friend Benny. And anyway, broke the tire down. I went and got a new tube, put that tube in it, got home, and heck, I went out there. I was going to do some mowing. I got out there and went in there to get the mower. My tire was flat again, so I'm going to have to pull that tire back off that mower and take it back over to Benny's. I don't know, it might have had a thorn or something in the wheel, and we didn't check it when we put that new tube in, so I'm going to have to get that checked. But I'll get that. And with this rain, I couldn't get out here and mow anyway. But I wanted to show you these chicks. They're really starting to grow up. They're really starting to get bigger. I got out here the other day with a hoe. You can see over here how much I haven't got this out yet, but I did get this kind of over here whacked out a little bit, where these girls would have a little bit more room. But these girls are really growing. They're just getting right on up there. They're coming right along. And they've been staying in Frank's dog crate there. Those quail pens over here, I got to get those quail pens taken back down. That's what I raised them in until they got big enough that they wouldn't go through this plastic fence. So, but they're doing good. They're coming right along. I'm real happy with them. You know, these birds are never going to be out of this pen. I'm not going to let them free range like I did those others. I'm down to two hens that are laying, from the hens that I got from the chicks I got last year. Well, I'm down to two. So I'm not going to let these girls here. They're not going to get the free range. I'm going to keep them in here. But they're doing good. They're really growing up good. So I'm real proud of them. Yeah, you guys are doing good, aren't you? But those two hens that came out from the group last year, they're still giving me 2 eggs a day, so I guess I can't complain. Got two birds laying, and they're each giving me an egg a day, so I can't complain anything about that. And then around here, I wanted to show you my number 2 doe. I lost my 3rd doe, Miss Tip. I lost her and all her babies. And so, anyway, that's Miss Rosie in the box right there. She's in her box. And this is Lou Ann. And she's got a bunch of babies in her. I'm not going to open it up, but she's got, I think, six babies in there, but I'm not bothering. Now these are Rosie's babies, and I finally weaned them off their mother. I took them off last Friday. They were 5 weeks old last Friday, so I took them off, put them over here, and this used to be where Miss Tip was, but I was going to put them in this grow out pen, but they're doing all right in this one. They're just growing up, so they're eating good. They eat good, and they're just doing really good. But I keep this tarp down over these to keep their food dry. That's why I keep this tarp down on them. And as long as it's rainy out or trying to rain, well, I keep that down. They still get plenty of ventilation through it and everything. But you know, it tries to clear off, and then it just comes. But I want you, my pasture, you wouldn't believe I just mowed that last week, and look at it, man. I mean, it's going crazy, and it does every year. It does that. That hen, she's squawking at me. But in here, this is my newest project in here, and this is it. And what it is it's a foam generator. It's to create foam to make aircrete with. And I went to Blanchard. The guy was giving these tanks away, so I drove down to Blanchard and I got these 3 tanks, those 2 tanks here, that tank and this tank, and then that blue one there was a tank, and I got the lid out of it, and I'm keeping chicken feeding it. But this is the generator itself right here. And what I've got here is I've got a 12-volt pump. It's I'm going to get around here where you can look at it, where I can show you everything on it. Get you down on it where you can see all that. That's the name of it. I think it's DELAVAN, Delvan Power Flow, and it's a model 7812-201-1. And the flow on it is 2.1 gallons per minute. And the amps on it is 8.5 max amps on it. And anyway, these fittings that I've got here, I think this is just a neat fitting. When I ordered those, I didn't know it. And they just came in the mail this morning. But that's how it goes. And I use these connectors that you just push on connectors. And I bought these straight ones to start with. And then I said, well, I really didn't want elbows. So I went back and I got these 2 elbows here and put it on. I wanted to keep it as clean looking as I could. Now, you can see my line. I got this stretched out to kind of straighten this hose out because it was all rolled up, you know. So I put it like that. But down here's my foam one on this end of it is my foam one. And it goes in and see it's got, it's got one of these connections on it that you just push on right there. Got a push on connection. And then on this end of it, it's got a hole in it. But what's on the inside of this is stainless steel scrubbers, like you scrub pots and pans with. Well, I got 2 packs of those in there. And then on the inside of this cap down here, at the Dollar Tree, I got is a plastic whisk, like you beat eggs with and stuff. And so, anyway, I cut it out and turned it around to hold those scrubbers up here about where my thumb is, to hold them up there where they wouldn't ever go down and block this hole. So that's the way I did that. But I just got this laying out here like this to get this line straightened out where it'll be straightened out. But then I made a deal that I could mount my switch on where my switch is. That's what, when I get this all wired in together, this is the pump, and this is a 12-volt air solenoid is what that is. Got that all rigged up. When I get this all tied in together, When you flip the switch on, this pump will start, and it'll open the valve on this air solenoid. And then it goes out, and it'll all go through this, and it'll all mix, and that's what's supposed to create the foam. That's the thinking behind it. I saw one of these on YouTube. The gentleman that built it, but he built his in a box, put his in a box, and I wanted to keep mine all together, so I made this little platform. It was made out of I think it's a 1x6 is what it is, 1x6 or 1x8. I'm not sure, but one or the other. There's a piece of it laying right over there behind the air compressor. It's a piece that I took it off of, cut it off of, and then I marked it, and then I cut it to where it kind of fit the top of the tank. And then down inside of it here, I hope you can see it down in there. I'm going to make an attempt to. You look down in there, there it is. You can see the hose down in there, and I got a spring on it to keep the hose down on the bottom of the tank. I need to pull that back out before I put any water in it. I'm going to pull that back out, get that spring out of there, and I'm going to paint it so it won't rust or anything. But I'm still waiting on my plugs and stuff so I can hook this 12 volt up. I've got these two, they're deep cycle batteries that I used to use with my trolling motors. Since I got rid of my boats, I kept these batteries, and I've kept them up, and they're up. They're charged good. So I'll be able to run this whole system off of that. Now, I wanted to make it where I could run it off 120 too. But my friend that's a electronic expert, I mean, he's a genius when it comes to electrical anything. He was telling me that with what that pump pulls, which is 8.5, and he said that solenoid probably pulled 3 amps, somewhere around that. So that's 11 amps. So I have to have at least something with 15 amps that'll carry 15 amps. So I had to reorder this electrical stuff, and I got one of those plugs that you plug into 120. And we're going to try it. He said, we'll try it, but he says, I don't know if it'll work or not, if it'll run it or not. But if not, it doesn't matter. I can still run it off of this 12 volt system. I don't need the 120. But I do have to have, for my compressor, I have to have 120. But I've got that plug up there, and I'm going to be doing all this, making this aircrete and stuff inside this shop. So it's all going to work out all right. But this is the first part of, I just wanted to show you the tank itself and the pump and solenoids and everything in the way that I'm putting it together. So it's, I try to build stuff around here that I want to use, and I want to build some of these planter boxes, these aircrete planter boxes, like they're like for raised beds and stuff. Well, I want to build some of them. So that's why I'm building all this foam generator and everything. Plus, it just gives me something to mess with. I like to tinker with stuff. Benny brought me this other rototiller, and I'm going to get started tearing it down. It's nothing like this one back here. This tiller back here that I've got, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't take for that tiller. And I've got other videos showing it running and all that, but I wouldn't take for it. There's my poor little John Deere mower with its little flat tire right there. I got to get that pulled back off and get it back over to Benny's. But with this grass the way it's growing, it doesn't take long. It just gets away from you. And this is sumac. I still got to get it cut up. And over there's I got my cover on my little chainsaw branch cutter that I built. that I did a video on. That's it, sitting right there. All the wind's coming up now. She's coming up good. Look at things just a skipping. Well, anyway, I'm going to get off of here. But as I always say, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell. Share it with others. Have a blessed day, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, bye.